Anyways, subscribe, keep an eye out for all of that, and make sure you drop a comment down below and get your 2 pennies in on the show next week so that we can get an audience 2 pennies going. Please make sure you drop a comment and all of that great stuff. Connor, let's get into our first topic of the day.
Get into it.
I'm going to take this first one here, and this one's real disappointing, ladies and gentlemen, so stick with me as we get into some heavy stuff. So, video game media sites Polygon and Giant Bomb face restructuring following layoffs and buyouts. Gaming-centric news sites Giant Bomb and Polygon underwent massive changes this week, with Giant Bomb laying off a number of important reporters due to a strategic reset, while Polygon owner Vox Media sold their video news site to Canadian media sold their video news site to Canadian media company Valnet. I don't know how I messed that up, but it is what it is. Valnet. Giant Bomb's layoffs occurred following comments made by now departed Giant Bomb's cast host Dan Reichart and reporter/co-host Jeff Grubb, wherein they poked fun at new fandom guidelines on a now removed episode of the podcast. Speaking with Kotaku, fandom confirms that, the departures citing, quote, a strategic reset and realignment of our media brands. Jeff Grubb subsequently took to X, formerly known as Twitter, confirming the layoff, writing, quote, well, that was a dream come true. Knew it wouldn't last, though. Out of a job at the moment. He would go on to promote his Game Mess podcast shared with Giant Bomb contributor Mike Minotti, who declared he will no longer write for the site, writing on Blue Sky, quote, needless to say, I will no longer be contributing to Giant Bomb. Giant Bomb's account eventually posted to Blue Sky, writing, quote, we understand your frustration and appreciate your patience. We're actively exploring creative directions for the future of GB and look forward to sharing more with you soon. Meanwhile, Vox Media's selling of Polygon to Valnet, owner of gaming media sites Game Rant, The Gamer, DualShockers, Hardcore Gamer, Fextra Life, and Open Critic, will result in layoffs and team transitioning to the new owner, as well as Vox Media's other gaming news network, The Verge. Quote, making this challenge allows us to better prioritize our strongest opportunities for growth, Vox Media CEO Jim Bankoff said in a note to staff on Thursday. Quote, the sale also helps reduce risk related to the uncertain economic outlook, with our top priority always being in the long-term strength of the company. Recent years have involved a number of video game news sites closing and conducting layoffs, including the beloved publication Game Informer in 2024 that has subsequently, Jesus, can you tell I've been recording for 3 hours?
Yeah.
Subsequently revived by developer Gunzilla Games. The year prior to that, Kotaku saw GO Media, yeah. That's how I read it. Okay. GO Media cut 23 jobs following the hiring of former editor-in-chief Jen Glennon.
You had talked to me before.
Yeah.
Give you a little bit of insight into the podcast here.
Little conversations that we have about our brand.
Yes, because Tavin had the idea, and I, wasn't hardline ascribing to it, but it certainly made sense, was to get picked up by somebody, right?
That was the initial idea.
Yeah.
Is that this platform, 2PennyGames, that we do on YouTube and mainstream podcasting platforms, right, was to be set as a base, us to pick up and learn skills, develop our on mic, on camera talents, and develop sort of a portfolio that we could take to other sites and other platforms that could platform us and boost us and put us into the gaming conversation sphere that we desire to be in. Now, what form that took place, we didn't know. Of course, Connor, your talents lie in writing and journalism. Of course, the story I just read was written by you. Make sure you subscribe to our Substack, 2pennygamesnews.substack.com, where you can read all of the articles that Connor writes out for the weekly news.
Try to.
This week we only got to the first two news sites, but it's fine because the others aren't hard news. They're more just number based, so we can just talk about that, right? Yeah. So make sure you subscribe to the Substack for that. And we are entering our 5th year of doing this. We started this in July.
It was 2020, July.
Of 2020.
Because July was when Halo Infinite News was coming out.
Yeah.
It was delayed,
it got delayed,
at that time.
Yeah. And so when we started it, this was seen more as like getting our feet wet, developing our talents, and a portfolio to build so that, a dream for a long time was for me to be hired by a Kind of Funny / Rooster Teeth Productions type thing. One of those has fallen away entirely. I think Kind of Funny has sort of plateaued into sort of being this smaller company that they want to be in, which is great for them. So it's just hard for things like that to happen. I think Connor had aspirations of doing the same, or developing this platform, or just writing as a freelance writer for other sites and so forth. In that sense, as we have continued to cover video game news, and we've seen how treacherous this industry is, especially in the last couple of years, right?
Specifically in the games creation side of things.
Yeah.
The media, as I've
The
laid it
media,
out,
I
is
mean,
true
the
as well.
media has been happening left and right as well. I mean, Imran Khan is one of my favorite writers and personalities in games, and he's been laid off, I think, twice since we've started doing this, which is unfortunate because he is super talented, right? And so I just think we are...
To double down on that,
Yes.
Jeff Grubb was the powerhouse at Giant Bomb. If you go on there,
He was the reason to go.
Yeah, he was the main guy there.
Yeah.
And
Shout out to Dan Reichart and Mike
Yes.
Minotti, who are also great.
But a lot of employees there were really angry at him being screwed over by the executives because he did the job great. He's amazing at it, and the fact that he got fired for
He brought that site headlines. He brought that site coverage. He brought that site eyes. People were tuning into his podcasts all the time to get new news that he would leak out and so forth, or tease out rather. He never really leaked things,
No.
but he would tease things and say, hey, I'm hearing XYZ thing, or he would if things would shut down, like
you get the scoop.
I can't. The number of times he shut down Titanfall 3 rumors, and that turned out to be true. We're going to talk about possible Titanfalls and Respawn in a minute here as well. All of that to say, it's clear to me now, even though it comes with its own level of treachery and lack of security, it's clear to me now that at least in the media space, independence is the way.
Yeah, and I mentioned politics earlier. That's been something, not in the same way, that's been very invested in the political side of YouTube and podcasting, where a lot of money's gotten injected into it by special interest groups, and so people are more motivated by that rather than the dialogue, the conversations to have regarding a specific industry itself. So it just it also brings with it. I think the better part about doing this is it brings about freedom, because it seems like Jeff Grubb wasn't fired because they needed to cut certain staff. He was fired because him and Dan Reichart made fun of the company. They spat in their faces. I don't know what the new guidelines were.
Now, granted, if you work for a company, you shouldn't do that.
Exactly. But it shows that they're, incredibly, what's the word? Not self-centered, but incredibly,
Bold?
not even bold. More like, I'm not talking about Jeff Grubb. I'm talking about the company.
Oh,
yeah,
got you.
It's very self-conscious. Like, oh, you're saying bad things? Well, we're going to fire you. Ignoring that he did all of this work for them.
You shouldn't mock the company that you're working for, not on a public platform,
Which makes me like Jeff Grubb even more. Like, just like,
I mean,
Dan
sure,
Reichart
yeah.
was like,
Listen,
okay.
he's standing on business as he should, as I would
Yeah.
expect a Jeff Grubb to do,
Yeah.
right? All of that to say, and this is not like the light switch thing. I have had this feeling about our platform for a while, well over a year, probably two, where it's no longer about being noticed by somebody else. It's about building. So, ladies and gentlemen, I invite you to make sure you subscribe. Soon we're going to be developing ways in which you can help monetize the channel. Please, if you can, please do that. I know times are really tough right now. We're going to talk about that a little bit later as well. The price of everything is going up. But if it's possible, when the ability to monetize comes up, please help us out and help us turn our dreams into realities in that form, because we would really, really like to expound on what we're already doing and develop new creative things that we've always wanted to do, but we just don't have the time to do because we are balancing work and life and doing this on the side. It takes a lot of time. Yeah.
Yep.
So, if you can, right now, just your eyes is enough. Just your, a little bit of your time is enough. We would really appreciate that. Make sure you hit subscribe. Maybe drop a comment down below. Let us know what you think about the channel, what we can improve. Let us know what you think about the topics of the day and how you feel about what we bring up on all these things. It would really, really mean a lot, because right now the goal is to make TwoPennyGames a new platform that you can go to, 1, for gaming news, and 2, for personality-driven media, and 3, and most importantly in my eyes, the evolution of cultural conversation around video games.
And what you said was true. Please talk to us. We talked about giving our own audiences 2 pennies and bringing them on the podcast itself.
We've done it a couple of times.
Yeah, but just it's not as prevalent because we don't have the most
We're very
high
small.
span of year. We're very, very small. But also come into those comments if you're trying to argue with us, to fight with us, to be
please fight with
insulting
me.
to us.
Oh, I love it.
Yes, this is the internet, Tavin. You have to realize where we're coming from here, and we have to. Those are the best parts about the internet. That's where the great stuff really resides, and just the hate.
I'll say, if you see a comment from TwoPennyGames or me personally, and it's not a full sentence, I'm trolling you probably, or
You don't care.
I don't have anything to say. It's not that I don't care. I always care. It's not that I don't have. It might just be I don't have anything to say, and it might just be thanks for the support, a little thumbs up. That's me being genuine. But if I'm being like snarky or snidey to you, I'm probably just trolling you, and I really don't care. But that's just sort of how I interact with comments. But if you see full, complete sentences from me, it's because I really enjoy your feedback, and I want to interact with you more. And I'll likely, if you get that, you're likely going to be in a topic in the next episode. If we remember to do it, which we should, but we haven't in a while. So I should be better about that. There's a lot we need to be better about. And hopefully we're going to turn it on and show you throughout the rest of 2025 that we are the platform to show support to from the ground level and build us up. So
Look at this, Tavin. We were talking about the news, and we made it about ourselves.
we made it about us. No,
that's
so
okay.
let's focus 100% on, let's take Giant Bomb first. As you said, Jeff Grubb and his co-host, that was the reason for Giant Bomb. So even though Giant Bomb still exists, the canceling of those shows, the benching of Jeff Grubb and friends, that's a huge mistake. That's I mean, Giant Bomb is dead.
I don't think it's going to live much longer unless they get some personality who's as good as those guys were, as Jeff Grubb was.
Good luck.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to get that, especially when you screw over one of your guys so obviously.
Yeah.
Who's going to? I guess some people don't have principles and they want to because money, but
look what happened to The Escapist.
yeah.
The Escapist was a site in a magazine that people went to for personality-driven content all the time. It's where Jim Sterling. Do they still go by Jim? I don't know. I
don't know.
I don't know what they go by either. I don't even know I think they're they them right now.
Oh, they are.
Yeah. So I think forgive me, Jim, if that's a dead name. I'm sorry. But Jim Sterling was a huge figure when I was growing up. Zero punctuation reviews were really, really entertaining and really well constructed and made. And I thought those were great. And they kept screwing over their personalities, so their personalities kept leaving, and the audience went with them. And so, that's what I see Giant Bomb doing now. You're screwing over your personalities. The audience is going to follow them, especially a beloved figure like Jeff Grubb. Like, you think all the eyes and attention that he brought you is going to stay? Who do you have that's going to bring you that? And you have to remember, Jeff Grubb is more than just a personality. He is established. He's got connections. He talks to developers, to high-up executives. He's got them in his phone that he can text them, That is valuable, and you're throwing that away. Yep. And that's a huge, huge mistake on that one. Is that one Vox Media or is that the...
Oh, that's Fandom.
That's Fandom.
So
yeah,
Fandom,
you fucked up.
And they're very well known for just if you've gone to the Fandom sites at some point, somebody has. Ads galore. It's cluttered. It's really not that great of a site. They milk it for all it's worth. They clearly do.
Yeah.
Vox Media, not so much. This isn't as egregious, but it's still not good, because
I don't see how this was a valuable acquisition from anybody's side. Vox Media has enough platforms that they don't need a Polygon. Polygon is only going... I think Polygon's being sent here to die, as well. I think both these platforms are gone because Polygon, one, took the most amount of hits, it seems, with the layoffs and so forth. And two, Vox Media has plenty of websites already that already provide what Polygon does.
Well, that's more Boundnet that does. They have all of those sites that were listed before. Vox Media only has The Verge. So they're putting some of their people from Polygon onto The Verge. It's down there for a little bit.
Vox Media is selling a Polygon to Valnet owner. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, you're right. Yeah. Vox Media sold Polygon. But I don't see how that benefits Vox Media except getting a quick buck. It definitely doesn't help Polygon, and I don't understand how it helps Valnet because Valnet has Game Rant, The Gamer, Dual Shockers, Hardcore Gamer. I don't know if Extra Life.
Extra Life's a lot of more tips and things like that.
Okay, yeah. and then Open Critic, which isn't a news site, it's a review aggregate site.
The media site.
That's a separate thing. But Game Rant does news and does it well. But they also do like top 10 lists and things like that.
The gamer's more about that.
The
They do a lot
gamer
of the
is
lists.
solely focused on that. DualShockers does both. So like, what is Polygon going to provide Valnut that they don't already have in terms of value, other than we can beef up our staff a little bit more and maybe cover a little bit more. But hey, there's not a lot of money going around, especially on the media side. So what are we doing here?
I can see Valnet firing people in the near future, maybe even getting rid of some of, because they have so many publications, getting rid of some of them and putting them underneath the Polygon brand, because that's one of the bigger ones out there. Like, people know what Polygon is. Not everybody knows what DualShockers is. Not everybody knows what Hardcore Gamer is. I can't even remember what they specialize in. But I can see them wanting to get to a point where they want to consolidate things under one media company, because they clearly just have so many. News site, because they have so many others.
Yeah, I agree with you. I definitely see a lot of these brands probably getting umbrellaed under one brand and so forth. So, and I mean, like, I'm sure that'll benefit some things, but at the end of the day, it just feels like the less sites we have, the less personalities we have, the less opinions we have, the worse this is for one, the state of games media, but two, and most importantly, the state of games culture. It's important to be able to have these free-flowing ideas of people who know what they're talking about and who can come with different perspectives, and to consolidate, to make it all one thing. Sucks.
We'll see how they develop their business model going forward, but I just hope because they, like I said, they were moving some to The Verge. I hope they saved as many as possible. I know that's not their goal, so I don't have faith in them. It's more just I hope the chances were in the favor of the employees who were laid off, because it's not so nice.
It's not nice.